You also don't like to throw things away.
Oh, yeah.
It's impossible. I mean,
I feel like I'm going to need that tissue in 4 days. Do you know what I mean?
We moved here 3 years ago. What we quickly realized is, as it's a rental, there's not much that you can do. You can't break walls down, you can't change things. The carpet's gonna be the carpet, the kitchen's gonna be the kitchen. So we just found little hacks that we thought were ways of changing it. So little elements that would hide things that we couldn't get rid of ourselves. Our taste is layered.
Every piece, I think, has a bit of a meaning
or
behind
story,
it, or a story behind it. But it's all renter friendly. We've done like a lot of Velcro and sort of double-sided tape.
I understand the fear of wanting to do something to a rental house. I totally get that. But for us, it's like, if we're gonna be here, we have to make it our home.
We have a company with our mother called Irving and Daughters, and we design homeware. Our mother is a textiles designer, and she was also an editor at House and Garden in New York back in the day. My dad's an art dealer, so I think our parents are both very much obsessed with the decorative arts. Working with family, I guess the cons are that, yes, we allow ourselves to say things to each other that we wouldn't probably say to a boss that we worked for. Then the pros are that we just really get to really create what we love.
We're best friends.
We're best friends.
Everyone. We went to see a psychic once who said in all of our past lives, we've been twins. And that this is the first life that we've been separated, which obviously we haven't done properly because we're living together. We're in the dining room, which is, I think, where we spend most of our time because we're always entertaining, having people over. So for me, I think it's my favorite room in the house. This is how we would set the table usually if we are having lunch or people for dinner. It's summer now, so I think lots of bright colors. And this is our new plate collection, which is called the Gigi, which is based on Greek motifs. These were old dining chairs that belonged to my father. We found this traditional Portuguese fabric and just had them reupholstered, but they're kind of nice because they have a bit of a waxy feel. And with dining room chairs, you're sitting on them for a long time. So we wanted something that wasn't too delicate so that they wouldn't tear. And then these columns, we just thought that they would look so cool here because the ceilings are quite high. And then we put on these old Hungarian pots with some plants inside. So they're super special to us because it's the drawings for the interiors of the tent for my parents' wedding. When we were younger, we obviously thought it was quite cool to put all these stickers on it, but I guess, listen, it's part of the story, so. This painting's quite amazing. It belonged to Ariadne's godfather. It was meant to go in the living room, but we couldn't get it up the stairs. He actually, funnily enough, looks like one of our best friends from childhood. It's his doppelganger. We decided, Ariadne and I, that it would be quite fun to put some curtains. So we used one of my mother's fabrics, Almaty, and one of our Irving Daughters tablecloths, double-sided sticky tape, stuck them together and put them up. So it's so nice because when you're sitting inside for dinner, you close the curtains and it feels like a completely separate room. I love to cook. It's always been one of my favorite things. I have a great collection of cookbooks that I've inherited from my grandparents, that I've bought myself. This painting has followed me everywhere. It's by this artist called Luke Kendall, who's actually a very old friend of ours. And I just think that it's almost made for this kitchen. It fits perfectly in this space. It brings color, just makes it fun. And that's what you want a kitchen to be. And then another thing is that we've put all of the plates that we've designed in the last few years. And I thought, again, it's another way to add color to a room. They're removable. And for us, it's part of the story.
I liked the idea of having the kitchen, dining room separate to the living room. If you didn't really look out the window, you could maybe be like in a country house or something, which I really like the idea of. The walls are painted in an amazing, vibrant yellow. All the art really pops beautifully on this color, I think. Obviously, we have a television because we love TV, but we don't like to look at the television. So Olympia and I made makeshift curtain with a tension rod. Ta-da! And the TV is right there. And then found these amazing shell clips. And then, for me, just absolutely beautiful, these Thomas Fry mezzo tints And he did a series of these people called fanciful heads. So much detail. It's literally 2 colors. I bought this sofa maybe, 6 years ago, I would say. And it's from IKEA. It's called the Farlov, and it's genuinely the best sofa. I think the shape is so nice. And we literally sent the slipcover to an upholsterer, and they just recopied the same exact dimensions. And we used one of my mother's fabrics, which is called Nino, which works perfectly with the striped rug. And it's just incredibly comfortable. Finally, this piece, Olympia actually commissioned for my birthday. It's by an incredible artist represented by Alma Zevi. Her name is Katie Stubbs. And it is the myth of Ariadne and the Minotaur, which is my namesake, when he basically left her on an island to die by herself. And she married Bacchus, the god of wine, afterwards, so that's quite nice.
I do think that it's really important that bedrooms feel personal, and so that's why I already have so many pictures around, because it makes me happy and I like being surrounded by people that I care about. As you can see, I wanted everything to be quite fresh and bright, so I used setting plaster from Farrow & Ball on the walls, which I just think is the go-to color and kind of is perfect. I didn't have any big paintings to put behind the bed, so my mom came up with this idea of putting one of her new fabrics, Carnation Stripe, behind the bed, which I actually think looks great, and it sort of acts like a big piece of art. This is a chair that we actually found at Kempton that was falling to bits, and we just had a slipcover made with my mom's fabric, Jolie Madame. I think it ties the room in together quite well. Floral, pinks, yellows. And then my favorite thing in the room are these Hungarian watercolors of traditional costumes. I think they are so beautiful. We still have some more, which we haven't even framed yet. I think they could look great, actually, all around here.
So we are in my bedroom right now, currently sitting on my bed from the original bed company. I saw this online and automatically knew I sort of wanted a 4-poster type bed. Obviously the dream would be I'd have like lots of curtains on it, but still working on that. And I think the nice sort of purpley color against the sort of almost arsenic green wall works so well. And the color's actually also from Papers and Pain's historical collection. I think it's called Sev. And I just love sort of hanging all these pieces that I've collected throughout my life, like all the evil eyes I would pick up when I would be in Greece every summer, and all these beautiful crosses. I think this is from Venice. This I actually made. It's just these certain motifs that I'm drawn to, and they just keep coming back, and they keep finding their way back to my wall. Those are 18th century hand-colored prints of just beautiful garden scenes. That little needle point is of Pepito, the love of my life, my son. And it's just so cute. Olympia got it for my birthday last year.
Everything happens from this room. The light is amazing, which I think is what drew us to this house. The first time we saw it, we were like, this is unbelievable. And it's kind of where we work from now. We have our mood boards where we're starting to think of ideas. Here we have this cabinet that is just filled with lots of Carolina Irving and Daughters objects that we use. So vases, our concha shells, which are like a major part of what we do. It's our logo, it's our obsession, it's everything we love. Even when it's not sunny, which is most of the time in London, it just feels really bright and cheery. My dad found all these great photos of objects that are in the house, but when they were placed in their old homes. The hot air balloon, which is hanging in the dining room. The leopard chair that's in the living room. The Suzanne that's hanging up in the living room. I mean, we're very nostalgic as a family, so it's keeping all of these things that we've grown up with. I don't know if we can ever not live with each other. I think when we get married, we're gonna have to live with our husbands all together. Because there's gonna be no way we're splitting anything. You can have the IKEA sofa without the slipcover.